What's up, guys? It's Jack, also known as 808 by Jack or 808 Scales, and I'm going to be going over my 7-stage elevator funnel. And this funnel has helped me achieve $40,000 a month in tattoo revenue, not including my shop, grow to a 2,600 square foot shop with room for over 10 artists, and be booked out months in advance with high paying and loyal clientele. And honestly, I'm making this video because it's something I wish I had when I first started out. Most artists just look at tattooing as an art form, but nowadays you really need to treat it as a business if you want to succeed. So I'm going to be showing you guys this funnel. Let's get right into it. All right, so the first stage of the elevator funnel is awareness, and each stage is built off of pillars. So awareness has 4 pillars: personal brand, showcasing experience, personal slash behind the scenes, and educating. And this is all through the means of social media, as nowadays that is the best way to generate awareness of your brand. I mean, you can do it other ways, in person, business cards, but that's kind of out of date nowadays. So we're going to be focusing on social media for this part. 1, personal brand. The goal is to build trust, familiarity, and recognition. You need to have a personal brand. That's how the biggest creators in almost every industry have built multi-million dollar companies nowadays. Look at Skims, that's Kim Kardashian, just based on her personal brand. So many other examples nowadays. And so even for you on a way smaller scale, you really need to build a brand around yourself. And that means combining parts of your personal world and business world. So how you do this is sharing your origin story, how you got into tattooing and barbering. You can do this by making a minute-long video, pinning it to your page, and people want to know your story. So a great way. Use consistent brand visuals, stay consistent, use the same colors and fonts that you're using across all platforms and post. Stick to it. Don't be messy. So when people see your stuff, they recognize it. They know it's you. Post testimonials. That is super important for social proof, which we will touch more on later. Share your values, cleanliness, your art. Put that in your post. Talk about it. Showcase it. Showcase how clean your space is. Very important. And then use storytelling captions with personal language. That's very important. You want to be using the words like I, you, we, like, this is one of the favorite tattoos I have ever done. Would you get this? It makes it more personable. And so the next pillar is showcasing experience. And the goal is to build trust by showing how clients feel during their visit, not just the final product. And how do you do this? You do it by sharing clips of the full in-studio experience, like doing process videos, greeting your client, etc. Post your amenities. If you have coffee, snacks, drinks, show that. People love that. Show how you prep this space, especially if you value cleanliness, which you should. Everyone should showcase that, right? And if you got a cozy space, record short interviews on, go in depth on your clients if they're open to it. It's great to have a little video on why they chose that tattoo, why they got it, what's the meaning behind it. Those are super cool videos. Highlight special touches. If you have something cool, special aftercare cards, even stickers, showcase it. Don't hide it till the client gets there. And finally, showcase the vibe, right? Set a vibe. This goes with personal brand, but are you luxurious and peaceful? Are you hype and energetic with neon lights? Are you chill, intimate, warm lighting? Are you dark and gothic? Pick a vibe, stick to it, and showcase it. Our next pillar is personal slash behind the scenes. The goal is to humanize you and build a connection with your audience. And, it's so important nowadays, as I said before, you really got to showcase aspects of your personal life and not just your business. And how do you do this? Morning routine or day in the life clips. They're fun, they're raw, and they're unfiltered, right? You want it to be natural. Chill moments with clients, laugh, set up a camera, conversations. It's fun. And that can also be studio culture. Set up a camera, the moments you have with your team, laughing, what you talk about, that's great. Also share your hobbies, share your passions, right? If you like skateboarding, you like skiing, show that. People want to be able to relate to you. And if they do something that you do, they're going to love you, right? All right. Next pillar is educating. So You want to establish authority and provide value to viewers, right? So if you have clients watching, a lot of your clients have probably not booked in with you. Most of the people on your page have not booked in with you, or maybe they're first time tattoo goers, or, for a barber, they haven't been to you. So you want to make them feel comfortable. And how do you do this is make content like what people get wrong about tattoos, fades, how to prepare for your appointment, things I wish my client knew before booking, explain the healing process, what's normal, how to protect it in the summer, do this, not that, comparison videos, right? Tons of ideas you can do, but you want to speak to your client and have a target audience. Stage 2 is information. So this has 4 pillars: landing page, story highlights, optimized bio, and social proof. So landing page. Nowadays, most people just use their Instagram as a landing page, but it's also important that you have a website, if not a website, a booking form, right? And so the purpose of this is to be like a central hub of information, which showcases who you are, a little intro to about you, your portfolio, which if it's Instagram, is clearly listed there with all the photos you post. Booking information with clear call to actions, how to book, where, service menus. If you're a barber, what kind of options and services you offer, beard and trim, just trim, color, whatever. And then client reviews, for social proof, and then frequently asked questions. If you have Instagram, you kind of utilize this through story highlights, which we'll touch on. But it's always cool to have a little website, a personal website where you can have this information. It just looks very professional. Next up, story highlights. So the purpose is to keep the most important information super accessible, and it's easy. It's right when you open your page, they're right there. And so there's a few categories that you should have, which are booking, which includes step-by-step instructions on how to book with you. Healed, photos of healed tattoos if you're a tattoo artist. Services and pricing. If you have multiple services, show the pricing, or show all your pricing. Be transparent about that. People want to know. Don't be ashamed of it. Behind the scenes studio. This can be a personal one. I use mine as, a personal one where I showcase my personal life with all the stories I post, and it's cool. It makes people feel more connected, and they feel like they know you a little better, right? Reviews, that's testimonials, frequently asked questions. That's great to have. And if it's on a landing page, just have a small thing, story highlight, FAQ, and then link it to your website. And then design tip for highlights: use branded covers so they all look cohesive, or if you want to use different ones, make sure they all fit your aesthetic. Next up is optimized bio, right? So it's super important to have a good bio, and a lot of people lack that, and it's arguably the most important part of your Instagram page. It's right there when people open your profile, and everyone reads your bio. And so it needs to be clear, and it has to let people understand, what you offer right away. So a good formula is, specialty style, tattoo artist. If you're a barber, that doesn't apply. Located in, the city or shop name, bookings open for when, and then a clear call to action, link to bookings/portfolio below, right? So good example: Realism Tattoos, Halifax, Nova Scotia, 808 Studios, booking for July to September, and then link below to book. Always want to use emojis to break it up. Don't make it boring. Keep it on brand, right? If you're all black, use black emojis. If you're red and orange, use red and orange, right? And then avoid clutter. Don't add in anything that's super unnecessary, like, personal quotes. If you have a tagline, use it, but don't clutter it. And then our next pillar is social proof or testimonials. And the purpose is to build credibility, trust, and demand by showing results and client reviews. And so how do you do this? Is if you're a tattoo artist, healed photos. Clients want to see how their tattoos can look in a few years or months, not just fresh. Show that. Client testimonials. Post screenshots of DMs, your Google reviews, Trustpilot, Facebook reviews, anything, your Google form that asks your clients for a review. Post that. It adds so much social proof to your page. I can't stress how important that is nowadays. Repost and tags. If someone posts you or their experience on their story, reshare it. It looks great. If you tattoo any influencers or celebrities or just anyone big in your city, make sure to mention that, showcase that you did that. That builds more trust with people. If you do any guest spots or travel, show that. Even if it's personal travel, show that. People love that. If you have a booked out schedule, mention that. Hey guys, July is booked. Thank you so much. Hey guys, only a few spots left for August. Stuff like that makes it look like you're in demand. Even if you have half the calendar open in August, let's say only a couple spots left in August. And it really builds demand. And then bonus tip, build a testimonial story highlight or link it to your landing page. You can see here that this is my Instagram. I keep it very consistent using a white background all throughout. I throw a couple reels from my reels grid on here just to help people know who I am a little more. But as you can see, I keep it very consistent. I've been using a white background for a while now. I desaturate the same amount every time, -60, and I do swipe to a raw one, and it keeps it consistent. All my photos look very similar. I try to keep the same background, similar lighting, etc. I keep my bio very clean, my age, I'm where I work, the owner of 808 Studios, my location, books open, my tagline, bold tattoos for the bold, and then a link below to book, which is a direct call to action. Um, you know, Profile photo, professional, and then my story highlights. I wanted to keep it a little more casual because here is very sterile with the white background. So instead of doing like, branded ones, I kept it very clean. Photo of me, heel tattoo, testimonials, right? I keep it pretty simple. And then here's a link below to book, right? So Inkdesk, this is the booking platform, which I use. I think it's great. Directs clients right to a form, they can fill out. I get all the information I need. And yeah. All right. Stage 3 is client interaction. So 3 pillars are automated FAQ, guided questions, and make the sale. So let's get into the first pillar. We have automated FAQ. And so the goal is to save time and reduce repetitive messages about questions that you always have to answer, right? How do you do this? Well, you want to use an automated DM reply, and you can do this through Instagram quick replies or a program like ManyChat. And it really helps your clients get information quick so they're not waiting on a response from you and you don't have to answer that. So, set up questions like, how do I book? What's your pricing? Do you take walk-ins? How far are you booked out? What should I bring due before the appointment? It's great because they get the information they want very quickly, and always in the automated response that you give, have a call to action at the end of it so they know where to go to book. And then pin your FAQ as a story highlight. This is great. If you don't have the automated one, which you should also have the FAQ in your bio, which is linked to your landing page, which we talked about earlier. Include visual answers, have a pricing chart or booking steps, make cool visuals in Canva. Looks really good for you. And direct people to booking links, portfolio, and policies from the FAQ. So always have links to these. So, if you're talking about, how do I book an appointment in FAQ, have a link to your booking page. If it's an aftercare question, have a link to your aftercare instructions. Yeah, very important. Next is guided questions, which is DM conversation starters and filters. So the goal is to lead the conversation naturally, to filter out low commitment inquiries, because a lot of people are just trying to kick the tire and, you don't want people like that. So you want to answer their questions and get them out of your DMs as quick as possible. So always direct to booking form, but don't push them away. So if someone really wants to book through DM, they send you all the info, it's easy. You can book them in there, but always direct to your main form of booking, which for me is a booking form. So if someone's ever like, oh, I want to get this, I respond, oh my God, would love to do that. Thank you so much. If you could fill out a booking form, that'd be great. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, keep it simple, focused, easy to reply to. Don't overwhelm them with a ton of questions at once. Make it casual. Another great way to do this is by having copy paste messages. So if you're going through DMs in your notes app or something, I have deposit thing, so I don't have to type it out every time. I just go copy and paste. Or if they ask for booking instructions, you can actually have like a little quick reply thing on Instagram where if you enter a keyword like bookings, it already has a message that it will just send out, right? Which is great. All right. And pillar number three is make the sale. And tattoo artists are usually not salespeople, but you got to learn a little bit of tactics. All right. So the goal is to convert interest into action super smoothly and softly. So you want to use clear, direct call to actions. Like if you're ready to book, here's the link. Let's lock in a date. Fill out the appointment form and I'll get back to you in 24 hours. And have it super clear and bold so they know what to do, right? And also, good thing to do is add urgency. Like spots fill fast. I recommend booking this week, or you could miss out. So make them feel like they got to do it soon. Also, don't accept defeat. What that means is a lot of people have objections, right? And like, it's out of my budget or that won't work or etc. Ask them questions. So if someone's like, that's out of my price range, ask them what their budget is, try to work with them or try to talk them, you know, but you can talk people into the sale, which, I'm not going to touch on too much, but you want to see if you can meet them and emphasize wanting to give them the best possible experience without having to compromise. All right, stage 4 is booking process. So our 3 pillars are booking form, respond quick, and deposits. So booking form. All right, so a booking form that I use is Inkdesk, which I love. And the purpose of one of these is to streamline inquiries, reduce back and forth chatter in the DMs, and helps you stay very organized. So what a booking form does is it centralizes all client requests and keeps everything in order and consistent, easy to filter through, right? It collects essential data up front, right? So when they fill out the form, you have everything you need and you can exchange in as little, messages back and forth as possible. They fill out a booking form, you give them a date, send deposit info, they send it. You only had to respond one time rather than a DM conversation. You're going back and forth on this and that and that and that, right? Prevents burnout by way reducing the time you're spent messaging clients. And also platforms like Inkdesk are just built for these industries. So they usually include calendar integration, automated replies, payment handling, which is everything that makes your life so much easier. So you're not doing it all on your own manually and you don't have a bunch of different software systems working together. You can just use one for everything. Pillar 2, respond quick, right? It's super important. I know most of us are tired after a long day of tattooing. You get up in the morning, you just want to go to work, eat your breakfast, but you have to find time to respond to clients, and it improves client trust, conversion, and retention. So fast responses show professionalism and care. It builds momentum in the client's decision-making process. Leads go cold quick. When they first send out that booking form, they really want that tattoo. Over time, as the hours go by, they may become less interested in it or go reach out to someone else. So don't lose the opportunity, respond quick. To do this, you can use automated messaging to help. Like even a brief response that just says, hey, got your message, I'll be back soon, keeps them anticipated and not just high and dry, right? So always care for your clients, respond quick. And the third pillar is deposits. And so the purpose is to protect your time and ensure serious commitment from clients. So deposits filter out non-serious inquiries and it reduces no-shows. Because, if someone doesn't have any money on the line, way higher chance they're not going to show up and respect your time. Clearly communicate the deposit policy, how much, when it's due, how it's applied to the final total, so people know and they're not caught off guard, right? Also, set a strict deposit window, 24 hours. So once you send that message out, they have 24 hours to send it, or you'll need to get them a new date. That keeps your calendar moving, so you can give that date to someone else if they don't take it. And I believe that deposits should be non-refundable, but my window is like, if you let me know 48 hours before the appointment, I will get you a new date. But if you cancel within that 48 hours, you'll lose your deposit and you'll need to send a new one if you want to rebook. All right, so stage 5 is pre-appointment. So these pillars include preparation email sequence and a 48-hour and 24-hour reminder. All right, so going in the preparation email sequence. And so the purpose of this is to educate, reduce client uncertainty, and ensure they are prepared when they come to the appointment. And so you can send out emails 2 weeks before, a week before, 3 days before, right? And so what you can include is a confirmation one, which you typically send right after they send the deposit and they're, in the email funnel. And in this, you can include what to expect, right? Like the flow of the session, frequently asked questions, cancellation policies, all that. Another email you can send out is how to prepare. Like for tattoo artists, hydrate, be well fed, get good sleep, don't drink the night before, stuff like that, and include directions on, parking, studio rules, and all that. Like, don't bring your whole family, arrive on time, all that. Another what to bring or aftercare one. You can usually send the aftercare one after in the post tattoo email sequence, but I you can also send it before, right? Just helps them be a little more prepared. But tell them what to bring if they need to bring food, snacks, if you have that, headphones, entertainment, all that stuff. And the benefits of this is you're gonna have fewer unprepared clients. You're gonna have less time answering questions because it's already gonna be given to them, and it enhances professionalism, right? So, on to the next is 24 and 48-hour reminders. The purpose is to reduce no-shows and reconfirm commitment, right? So, these can be automated if you use a booking software like Inkdesk. It does it for you, or Calendly. And in these emails, they can be looped into the ones before, right? But you want to reconfirm the date, time, and location, include the cancellation thing, like they're going to lose the deposit, or if you need to cancel or reschedule, let me know. Especially in the 48-hour one, you want them to let you know, because some people, they have too much shame and they won't tell you. So if it's prompted and you're asking them like, are you going to make it? They're way more likely to let you know, right? Give them a reminder of what to bring. Like, as I said, you can include it with the one before, and, emphasis on punctuality. Please arrive 10 minutes before. Be direct, be specific, and be personal. Say you're excited to work with them tomorrow. Get them excited and amped up, right? Keep it short, clear, and positive, and automate. Makes it super easy. All right, stage 6 is client experience. And so the 4 pillars are: be prepared, be interested, amenities, and be in service. All right, let's get into it. So, number 1 is be prepared. Show up early with your station fully set up before the client walks in. You want to be in a good headspace. Review the booking form the night before. That's important. If they have special notes, you want to be able to know right when they walk in so you can address it. Have all your tools cleaned, set up, double check to make sure you're in stock of everything and everything's good to go. If you're working on a design, finalize it before they get there if you already have all the information you need. If you needed information from the client, you can reach out before, or wait for them to get there. But if you already have everything, you have no excuse not to have that ready, because then you're just going to leave your client waiting when they don't need to be. And finally, mentally prepare. Eat, hydrate, have a routine before. I like to show up an hour early. I play a game of pool, and I just get in the right headspace. Pillar 2 is be interested. Greet your client by name. It's the sweetest thing to their ears when you tell them their name, make eye contact, and let them feel seen. Always ask questions about them. Like, I like to ask about the tattoo to start. Oh, why did you want to get this? Any reason behind it? And helps them open up a little bit. And then as they start to open up, you want to show genuine curiosity in their story, ask follow-up questions, and listen and actually care about what they have to say, and, learn about them. And listen fully when they talk. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. And that's a general rule of thumb, for communication, but very important. And a good thing to do is mirror their energy. So within the first 20 minutes, even earlier, sometimes later, you can figure out what kind of person they are, if they're super chatty or not, and, give them that experience. If they want to talk a lot, talk to them. If they don't, you can throw your headphones in, right? Our next pillar is amenities. So offer a bottle of water, snack, always. It's cheap to do and adds a ton to the experience. Keep the space clean and comfortable. It should always be like that. It should always be clean. You should never have an excuse to have a dirty studio space or shop. It's disgusting. Your clients won't appreciate it. Provide access to entertainment if you can, like music, a phone charger. People's phones are always dying, or even Netflix on iPads. And for tattoo sessions, pillows or blankets can go a long way for comfort. Offer aftercare instructions on a printed card or QR code, or at the end, or walk them through. You should be walking them through regardless. But also, if you give them a printed card, it really enhances the experience. And pillar number 4 is be in service. So focus on making the client feel comfortable, safe, and cared for, and not just getting the job done. You don't want them to feel like just another transaction and you're just trying to get them in and out as quick as possible. Also, what I like to do is clarify expectations before we start. I like to lay out the day and what they can expect, how long we're going to tattoo for, when we're going to take breaks, all that stuff. And explain the process, educate them. They like to know what you're doing. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to shave you now and then I'm going to put the stencil stuff on you, which transfers the stencil to your skin. Um, Let them know how it works. They like that. And then, don't rush to get them out at the end. Ask questions if everything's all good, if they're happy with it, right? And you got to prompt that because a lot of times they might not tell you, right? So ask and see if there's anything else they need. And treat each appointment as a chance to give someone more than they expected. Your clients deserve a lot, so give it to them. So stage 7 is the final stage, which is post-appointment, which includes pillars like thank you plus review, aftercare email sequence, and 3 client tracking. So our first pillar is thank you plus review system. So you're going to want to send a message out 24 hours or 48 hours after the appointment. And you're going to start with a personalized message thanking them, right? Be grateful, show them you're grateful for, going to you, right? And then right after that, you're gonna want to leave a place where they can leave a review, right? Link that to Google reviews, Facebook reviews, and tell them how important it is for your business. They're way more likely to leave a review if you do that. And that's going to help you get a lot more reviews if you automate it, because most people aren't going to search you out just to leave a review. Pillar 2, an aftercare email sequence. So I like to do a 1 month long email sequence, which follows the aftercare process, right? So in these emails, it includes detailed written instructions for aftercare, like day by day. Like I send one on day 3, day 7 after, 2 weeks after, a month after. And you want to tell them about products they got to buy, when they use them, how to use them, common frequently asked questions like, a lot of people ask, should my tattoo be looking like this, all scabbed? Answer those questions, right? And it reinforces professionalism. So it's a great thing to have. And you can also use this to, kind of sell them back in the future, like stay in the top of their mind. So like maybe send one 2 months after, you go, hey, like we'd love to have you again in the chair, or, booking form, more call to actions, right? Don't overwhelm them, but I like to nudge them at the bottom of these emails and then send a one out 2 months after, one 3 months after, kind of like that. Pillar number 3, which is our final pillar, is client tracking system, right? And so you can use a spreadsheet CRM tool or a booking platform, probably has this, something like Inkdesk. And what you can do with this is track rebooking frequency, how many sessions they've been in with you, tag them, like, do they have a full sleeve, a back piece? Are they a VIB client who's come like a ton of times, right? Helps you keep track so you can use this data to offer them discounts and exclusive services and more rebooking prompts. Helps you know your customers better and know data for your future marketing, right? All right. And that was the 808 Scales 7-stage elevator funnel. I really hoped you guys found value out of that. Again, I really wish that is something I had 4 years ago, and it has helped me scale my business to an incredible level. So I really hope you guys can implement this. And if you need help implementing it, send me a message on Instagram, 808 Scales, and I will help you out. All right, guys, have a good day. Good luck.